we are messing around with the Ninja Woodfire Grill again. Today we're going to try to smoke a pork picnic. It's basically a pork shoulder. Dad loves looking for cheaper cuts of meat that can feed a whole bunch of people for not a lot of money, or feed our family multiple times where I can cook something and freeze leftovers. There are a ton of ways to smoke a pork shoulder, and the most common way is to smoke it down to pulled pork type material. I don't want to do that. I want more of a roasted pork, and we're going to try to use the flavor profile of a Cebuano Lechon, which is just a fancy name for a roast pig from the Cebu region of the Philippines. That happens to be where my wife and family hail from, and it's just the best food in the world, top of anything. So we're going to try to use the flavor profile of that into this pork. We're going to smoke it, try to get a nice crispy skin, but not crackling, like a smooth, crispy skin. And I don't know. I don't know how well this is going to work. I've never done this on here. I don't even know if that pork shoulder is going to fit in there. I hope it will. We're going to find out. All right, let's get into it. Just want to be upfront about this. Ninja sent me this Woodfire Grill. I didn't pay for it. I get to keep it, but they get no input on any of the videos I make with it. They don't review them, nothing. So this is, real world usage of the Ninja Woodfire Grill. Just wanted to be upfront about that. This is our pork picnic. It is labeled as a pork picnic whole. It was $1.99 a pound, and this is about 6.5 pounds. That's a good chunk of meat. And what I love about it is, look at all that lovely skin. Let's test and see if it even fits in the Woodfire Grill. Okay, we are a little tall. I don't know what we'll do about that. Like, it is just touching. I don't know if I'm gonna have to shave it down or what. That could be an issue. I might have to maybe chunk some of the bottom of the meat off here or something. I don't know. But that's a bone. Not much you can do with that. We could be in a fail moment already. All right, let's see how it goes like that. There's the thin side over here. It is literally touching. We're gonna have to figure something out. But we're gonna prep this up anyway. If it won't fit on the smoke fire grill, it's going on my kettle because I plan to eat this today. Here's the plan. We're gonna remove the bone. The bone doesn't honestly add that much flavor. So we're gonna cut that out. We're gonna get access to the middle of the pork, be able to season everything up from both sides, from the middle. We're gonna do some injecting, whole bunch of stuff. But I think if we cut the bone out and configure it, I think we can get it in there. That's the hope. Pork picnic to exam room 3. Pork picnic to exam room 3. First thing, we gotta get it out of this bag and dry it off. I threw a little tin foil down because I have somewhere I need to be, so I'm gonna end up kind of prepping this, wrapping it up, stick it in the fridge, and then come back. All right. In those vacuum seal bags, they get a ton of juice in them, and they're wet, and we don't need that, especially on our skin. Crispy skin is literally what people in our family fight over when a roast pig comes out. So we're gonna try to get some really nice skin out of this. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but that's the goal. That's pretty dry. Let's get to butchering. All I'm doing here is attempting to remove the big bone from the middle. What you do is you just kind of cut a slit right across the top of the bone, and then keep your knife as close to the bone as you possibly can. Work around and attempt to save as much meat as you can. It is a little bit hard to show this on camera. I'm cutting in some funky angles, but as long as you kind of just follow that bone and go around, you'll get it out. It's not too hard. And look, it even has like a little joint on it. Now, make sure you have a sharp knife to do this. All right, what are we left with? Okay, I punctured the skin twice. Not great. I would have rather kept the skin completely intact. But we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more cutting so we can kind of get this thing to lay flat, and then maybe roll it. That's not bad. And we are going to go ahead and throw some skewers in here. If you have watched Dad's roast pork belly video, this is basically the same technique, but this is not a belly. All right, we are ready for seasoning. Nothing crazy as far as seasonings go. We have some black pepper, some sea salt, garlic powder, onion powder, fresh minced garlic, vinegar, white vinegar, a little bit of MSG for Uncle Roger, lemongrass, a white onion, a little bit of melted butter, and some bacon fat. We are just going to do a rough dice on this white onion. And then we're going to pound the crap out of this lemongrass. You got to find lemongrass. There is no real good substitute for it. Pounding it kind of releases all the oils from it, and it'll help you get the flavor throughout the pork. But you can't really find a substitute for it. You got to find lemongrass. Asian markets will have it if you're lucky, if you have one around you. I am just pouring some bacon fat into the center of this because it's just going to make it taste better. Little bit of extra butter. Fat, butter, juices, flavor, anything to help the middle of the meat get more seasoning. Now, this is just a mix of garlic powder and onion powder. I do 50-50 mix. I keep it in a shaker bottle because I use it all the time. Fresh ground black pepper. Now, I'm not measuring here, just kind of going by a good coating. And this is quite a bit of minced garlic. I cheat and I use the minced garlic that is in the jar. It's just so much easier. And salt. A little bit of MSG here from boy Uncle Roger. It also just makes things taste good. And we are going to go ahead and massage this into the meat. That's where the slits came in. The slits will help this seasoning work its way down into the crevices of the meat. Now, I started with trying to put these longwise and then realized I'm going to be folding this. So I want it to go the other way. So I cut them shorter and made them go the opposite direction. A quick little roll, and this puppy's ready to go in the fridge. Wrap it up in some tin foil, and it's ready. Dad is back from his little errand he had to run, and it was actually getting a haircut. This is my first haircut I have had in over 2 years since the apocalypse hit. I just started shaving my head by myself, but I have to go to my wife's holiday party, and she wanted me to look actually presentable, so Dad got cleaned up. Not too bad. But doing that made me skip a step that I should have done before I wrapped this up. So let's get to that now. And that step involves this thing. It is a little prickly thing. Let me see if I can get you a better view. And what this does is it's going to put a little bit of micro holes in our skin, which is going to help us get crispy skin. I've used this before when I've done my little roast pork bellies, and it worked out well. All you do is pokey poke. You're not trying to puncture the skin. And then we're going to douse this in some white vinegar. And then this is going to sit in the fridge for a couple hours. As long as you can. Overnight's even better. Let all these flavors kind of meld into the pork. And we'll get it on the smoker a little later, closer to dinner time. This is just wrapping it up. Get a bunch of butcher's twine and try to get it into a shape. Something that's going to hold together.
As you can see, it has started pouring here in Florida, so Dad has had to reconfigure. We have the smoker tucked in here underneath the cover of the patio, and we're going to go ahead and preheat our smoker for 300 degrees. For today's cook, we are going to try the all-purpose blend of pellets.
The pellet hopper is on the side of the grill. You just fill it till it's full. Really simple. The final step is to put a little bit of soy sauce over the skin. This is not for flavoring, it's just for color.
Time to see if our plan worked. That's pretty closed. We are still on the handheld rig because it's still raining, but the pork butt made it on there pretty nice. And meat sticks in there, giving us our temperature. That is my digital thermometer. That's how I keep track of all my cooks. There's a link to the video about that in the description. And now we wait. And hopefully this comes out absolutely delicious. Oh, wow. Dude, that looks so good. Oh my God, that looks fantastic. According to the meat stick, we are at about 126. The temperature is 4 or 5 degrees above 300 in there, so pretty close. And it says we have about an hour left till we hit our 185 sliced pork temperature. Oh, this thing looks fantastic. Ah, I can't wait. This looks good. Now, I'm not sure why, but we still have a ton of pellets left in this cook. During my last cook, it felt like they only lasted an hour. Interesting.
And there she is. It's crispy. You can hear it. It ting-tings off the knife, just like you want. Now we're gonna wrap this sucker up for a little bit. Our smoked pork picnic is done. Took a little over 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. And then I rested it for about 30 minutes. It looks fantastic. It smells fantastic. It's dinner time. Let's cut into this thing and see how it is. Now it's time for the most important part, the taste test. Taking a piece of the skin first. Yeah. That is wonderful. It is crispy enough to chew, not hard enough to break a tooth. Lots of great smoke flavor. And now we're gonna, a little bit of the juices, some pork from the middle. Garlic, lemongrass, all very strong. Nice and juicy. Still tender, but not fall apart like pulled pork. Here, a nice sliced roast pork. Probably could use a bit more salt. I could have went heavier with the salt, but I can always salt this up a little bit during serving. Oh, this is good. So the pellets lasted a little longer this time on this cook, a little bit longer than 1 hour. It did get 2 hoppers full of pellets. The only thing that happened was I kept getting some warnings about inconsistent temperatures from my meat stick probe. It kept saying we'd get up to like 314 and go down to 275. I don't know if that's just because of how big this thing is. It was blocking some airflow. So I'll have to keep track of that in future cooks to see how stable the temperature is on the inside of the smoke fire grill. Or maybe my meat stick is low on battery or something and was having a problem. I don't know. I will only be able to find out by doing more cooks. And if you want to see more cooks, or you want to get your own Ninja Woodfire Grill or meat stick digital thermometer, there are links down below. They are affiliate links. They help Dad out. I would appreciate it. So make sure you guys do all the likey, subscribe stuff. And Dad may have to butcher the rest of this pork picnic. That was perfectly smoked on the Ninja Woodfire Grill. Pork picnic perfectly smoked is not easy to say. But Dad doesn't do outros. So that's it. Bye.